Yeah, whatever you want, baby girl. You can have any
exactly.
agent. Just help us win, bro. Please, bro. I need the win, bro.
And he is.
But it's working. Gotta go fast. And Cubert Academy ready to sow. Cubert Academy not gonna play as fast and loose yet.
Well,
Well, Infiltrator was gonna flank, and then
back
you know,
into
that
A.
happened.
So they decide to group up together and go for the last minute hit into the C site where now moobs is about to get tested.
It's a real dance between all the sites. Here's the plant, smoke in place, moobs and flare together, no paranoia, but vibes, and Nahsie will be on his way, and I would like this recon to be used first so he can at least assess and get some attention. Shots towards the recon, it's been messy, but a big opener. As it's a double kill for moobs. And TenZ has to pick things up. Gonna drone out, see who's there, and Reduxx is ready to fight, even while pinged. Big win for Ali, got the double tap out, but not expecting that much smoke. The big double kill for tdawgg sets up Cubert for success. Now with the smoke in place, they'll get to cover their tracks and think of what's next.
That was also part of the plan. Reduxx letting himself getting owl drone, getting picked off so tdawgg can pick up the Guardian and get 2 kills. So they went for a force buy after getting a plant for Cubert Academy, but it's not the good old trusty stinger buy. They tried to go for range because of this type of map where you're trying to go for picks at the long range distance, and you can't really use util to open up sites, so nice little picks to start.
Good fault line from NiSMO, and Winthrop have to now battle through the smoke, depending on how Zero wants to pop out. Infiltrator with a big tube. Timing. Now it's just moobs in a 1 versus 2. Moobs is gonna have a good tap there. A lot of smokes are hindering Cubert. Where this ISO is inserted, where Ali is, could catch Cubert. And wow, I guess Flair's gonna peek out of garage and get the spike down. Gonna cause some activity for Cubert to recover that. I'm surprised that Flair and Ali didn't want to try and go for more. Still an important cutoff point. TenZ is down, traded by Reduxx. Spike continues its way over. Maybe gonna need some help though from nightz, especially with the paranoia, but now deciding, okay, there's way too much danger left here. They're gonna go through A.
Well, it's so hard for them to get map control, and they've already lost tdawgg in the very beginning. You can't drone into garage. You're trying to group up to hit up the B site so that it's easier for you to entry, but nightz just got caught off. The silver lining, at least, is that they have an open site for C to plant, and they also have better weapons to work with in the post plant, because nobody really picked up, and only Flair finally picked up a rifle here.
Shock bolts and recon so annoying out of Nahsie onto the site, so Infiltrator has flashes and dimensional drift too. You can kind of solo hold this if needed. See what Cubert have up their sleeve.
Yeah, it's a simple just take the site. They should smoke. I mean, they should have smoked heaven at this part. They went a little bit too late, or too early rather, before the smoke bloomed. Yes, he gets traded out, but they're still running out of players now in the post plant for Cubert. Thankfully, finally nightz gets a pick.
And Winthrop lose the op too, so Cubert equal numbers. Arrow's gonna be heaven. Taken. Sova through the front door. Nahsie with shock bolts. Not feeling like he has enough time to flesh out these zones, and Nahsie tries to do it all on his own. Now it's just up to Flair. Good paranoia. She could have combined that with his teammate. Perfectly synchronized, but now time is running out, and Cubert have all their bases covered as Flair chases down this last person. tdawgg is running for his life, buying time.
They gave a much better chance for Cubert Academy to win that round.
Hunter's Fury early from Nahsie, detecting something from Cubert over at A, and it gets the spike down, so Cubert already have a setback. Kind of want to see TenZ activate, especially with the overdrive, and that's an offensive Hunter's Fury, and Winthrop hits, backs against the wall, but there's a bite from Winthrop. They will not be evicted, not without a fight. But fraggers from Cubert get into position, and it's just tdawgg left with a bark, and against moobs and Ali, there's kind of a sort of high-low going on. tdawgg has shock bolts, but oh yeah, he's also faking, making it look like he's maybe moved through main. And had this isolated 1v1 against Ali.
Actually, doesn't hit anybody, but I like the idea. So you had the undercut coming out of garage.
I know exactly
was gonna hit from Infiltrator too, and that's such a big win condition you remove from them. Neural theft because of that drop will give an advantage to Reduxx and friends of Cubert, figuring out which the weaker site is, and Flair throws a paranoia, but Nahsie wasn't by his side, so they're gonna take a step. a second to regroup. I like maybe just trying to hit a different angle too through garage. It is smoke though, and because Cubert have all 5 alive, they have so many bells and whistles for this post plant, even having a drone later on.
Yeah, I'd probably save for his Winthrop here. Even if you could buy within the next round, trying to make it expensive at his next thing. But after that HP remaining from Nahsie, these last 2 guys have to save. I like the pivot though coming back from Cubert Academy. The pivot back or control here towards
the offensive omen. It's a pivot towards garage. Cubert are working the map, and Winthrop trying to keep up. Entry into C. You got the neon wall splitting up and not letting moobs get too much vision. The paranoia through. Cubert just are getting surrounded, and they need to pick an angle to dominate in. And with Infiltrator, it's going to be hard. Neural Theft is going to help Winthrop suss out where Cubert are going.
It's a solo A-hold from Ali. He already used a double tap, so 1v1 here. Oh, he's screwed.
Okay, at least need contingency to try and block some of this damage. He's gonna need help, and backup has arrived. 911, the ambulance for Winthrop has made its mark, and it's just nice.
Standing to rotate over, the over-rotate from Cubert towards the A site.
Ooh. Finding Ali early. Cubert ramping up the aggression. Reading Winthrop and adapting well. Now it's the paranoia that splits Cubert in half. As Winthrop want to prevent this from getting too settled. Flare and
add more synergy with TenZ coming into the roster and making things work off the fly. It's very difficult to do.
Oh, Ali's on his way with a contract. There's 1 to kill, and he's kidnapping. I think that was Reduxx. So while that goes on, Cubert are just going to take a chill pill. And Ali wins that kill contract, ink to paper, and Cubert have a sewers push going, smokes, but because Cubert take long to get into the site, it allows for Winthrop to keep up with rotations, to be stacked, and even develop a flank every now and then, just like Ali did last round. Ooh, tdawgg. I like when you dodge in the camera too, like IRL, but shooting through the smoke. Here's the vulnerable out of the ISO. Cubert just spamming through the smoke, and moves with 30 HP, gets 2 for the road, making it a lot easier for Infiltrator in this 1v1 against nightz, who honestly could have even teleported at that window, had enough time to plant. Infiltrator will be in heaven. Isn't going to spot any targets, and based on the play, no! A tough duel. Like now, actually, that Yor has an isolation, and that's an opener against NiSMO, and runs headfirst into nightz and puts him to bed, and opens up the B site for Winthrop to carry through, and there's only so much space he can make. Winthrop will have to make do, and on the flank, tdawgg with 10 HP, open for a backstab, isn't going to have the right timing, but in the front line is Reduxx and garage. Ready to swing, but Flare's ready. If Reduxx wants to follow through, and that's good backup. This is a good Winthrop pistol, at least in terms of health. But Winthrop still don't know where tdawgg is, I believe. So this backstab could still be huge. He's catching Flare, takes his time. TenZ has the most health too. Nassie's gonna turn around to deal with garage, so TenZ just has to finish up this round.
Mercy is not the best for them to have a clean execute into the A site because Infiltrator has an outlaw to work with. So you're just trying to scan through, you're trying to force players out of position, and hopefully Infiltrator getting a pick off the outlaw. But that site smoke being thrown out was perfect here so far for Cubert.
Infiltrator has to do this was the outlaw, I guess.
Shorty.
Oh, Shorty, okay. That's where it is, and it's down on the ground now. Who cares what he has? Cubert just hold the line, and tdawgg is something else. Even combined with TenZ, they hold the wall, and they hold Winthrop back from the spike too.
Gotta count your lucky stars, especially there for...
Wow, what a gamble from Cubert. 4 stacked on the right side. And it's working. It'll get moves and a fault line. It's trying to assist the rest of Cubert to collapse on this Winthrop entry. While the rest... Okay, the spike is left behind, so Winthrop are like, hey, we got the site. Where's the rest of you? Well, TenZ will find the rest of you, and he gets the 1. And Winthrop will march with what they have left. Infiltrator and Ali against NiSMO and tdawgg with full util kill contract 1v1, and in real life 1v1 in the kill contract. NiSMO shuts down Ali. This is what could help save Cubert Academy and give themselves more cushion against the 11 rounds of Winthrop. Unless Infiltrator can speak a win into existence.
Flash gave his position away, but tdawgg doesn't want to drone himself to give his own position away. They just want to play the time. If anything, Hunter's Fury is going to be perfect in the last second when Infiltrator is going to try to plat. So you're just trying to play to your best of capabilities here with what you have in your pocket. Free kill. A lot of rounds strung here on the defensive side from Winthrop University in the very beginning. And now, oh, the TP!
What's going on?
No, he's still alive!
He's going in blind. TenZ still there. And the flank is generated from Cubert through A. And the Hunter's Fury tries to pierce the hearts of the defenders. And Winthrop have an open sight, but Garage being pushed from Cubert. You got flashes from NiSMO. Ready for the count. Paranoia too. Still, Nahsie is still able to get... While the rest of Cubert wait for what information he could deliver them. Omen, Cypher within the site. Paranoia, contingency forward. A lot of space taken. The Judge, where the sun don't shine. And Cubert left to pick up the pieces. And 2 tripwires are going to stop TenZ on this flank. While Infiltrator heads back to dispatch that darn duelist. And it's not just him, it's tdawgg too. And TenZ has it off, which isn't the most easy thing to try and push 2 people. What a pinch from Ali and an Infiltrator. Now everything feels pretty set in stone for Winthrop. NiSMO's on the site, but there's 4 ahead, and his position don't have the luxury of having a breach or something easy to get into the site. I guess Infiltrator will just shoot better. And that's going to weaken that and get Cubert to scramble to fill those gaps.
Playing in another player deficit now for Cubert Academy, and playing soft side on C, full retake, just counting on the trips for information so that you can double up in the buddy system, and the buddy system gets fully denied in front of B site. That should be GG right here.
It's good teamwork out of Cubert despite everything, even with the double swing. But Winthrop, just the patience really pays off. How they're able to work the map, but also execute a little bit faster at the end. You love to see how Lotus will go. And Cubert Academy on their offense, they really like to work the map. Smokes up, they pivot. And, well, Bumps wanted to see a more aggressive TenZ on the Neon, and he slips right by, and they get hit by a Paranoia, though, from Player. And Cubert are going, they're trying to join the other team. They're going to the defensive spawn and not coming out with any kills. So Cubert will just have to play this from front to back, 3v5. It's just going to be 5v nobody.
Towards the A site, and Cubert's walking right into it.
They don't tempt him with a good time, and Ali won't be here for a long time either, just walking past the smoke. Man, I love that fire out of Cubert. Finally picking up the pace. Nahsie will walk away with 2, silencing Cubert and what looked like a relentless run on this offense. But now the threat is coming from stairs. That's where they last saw Winthrop escape. So Cubert, the suppressing fire is there as they watch to see if Winthrop will repeat. As the dust settles, Cubert will have to make do without tdawgg and TenZ, which are going to be pretty important. Pivot into B. I love this read. Out of moves with a stinger. And oh, he just gets flashed in. Solid round out of Cubert.
Yeah, he's got the Vandal behind him, but he doesn't want to pick it up yet because it will make the audio sound
fake. And Infiltrator would be in a position to counter if that were to be the case. So Cubert march on. They deal with moves in the corner. And Nahsie gets caught a bit, but he escapes at the back. Waterfall, Flare emerges. He's alone. Nahsie smoked off. And Cubert just dispatched one problem at a time. But still, we can't give up on Winthrop. They just know how to strike back when the odds are against.
Together, they're trying to pinch towards the seaside with the overdrive.
Ooh, Infiltrator heating up, and the pings through the wall, the overdrive! Oh, just takes care of most of Cubert. But wait a minute. What is going on? Flare is cooking. He's lighting up too. That's been snuffed out. And with Winthrop just sizzling in this round, you thought that Cubert, this is just going to be a quick round. We're actually in a 2 versus 2. Oh, a Steel Garden. Okay, we're trying to chase whoever this is. Nahsie just trying to get away. And a Nightfall infested too. And just one darn classic could have ended all of Cubert's hopes in this round. Now just a 1v1, tdawgg versus moobs, spike in hand. Now it's a mind game, trying to find each other. But this trip is going to deny tdawgg from getting into A at least. Now moobs knows there's nothing left. Wrapping around through stairs. Prowler's shot. tdawgg knows he's close. Trying to play the clock, play his life. The race up the pace for C, knowing Winthrop had been sending 3 or maybe even 4 to the Rebel side, and Cubert want to hit the site while it's weak, while it's open.
Ow.
And moobs says open who? We're closed for the day. Picks up 1. Neural theft out. Winthrop are on the way, and it's Cubert that are floundering against the Winthrop that look really established. A 2 versus 2. TenZ gone. Up to Reduxx. Who's out of sight, out of mind. And now pinged by the drone. Nahsie will spam through the wall with an Odin. And Reduxx takes a bit of damage. At least has the smoke still up to ice. On the approach, do they know they're about to walk into a trap? NiSMO has some util of his own, tries to flash, and Winthrop fire back. They got nades. Cubert have an overdrive. And it's a bloodbath, and Cubert aren't making any headway. Ali's just too clean. A 3. Open space, if anything. Infiltrator about to head first into Cubert, but there's a Nightfall breach util. There's only a defending Hunter's Fury that keeps Infiltrator safe from the swarm of bees that is Cubert.
Look at the HP after the Hunter's Fury. They're so low.
Another Odin travesty, but this time Cubert have a response, but there's only 1 person left.
On a retake. This should be an easy round now for Winthrop to take the lead 7-4.
It's to get a surprise. He was expecting a walk down stairs, and Infiltrator is low. Depends how Ali and Infiltrator work together. Ali down, Infiltrator is going to swing solo, and that could have been deadly if nightz had stood there. Now moobs and Infiltrator have synced back up, and the defuse is being held past the halfway point. They're heading to the left.
Party's done.
On the party. Okay, Steel Garden is gonna get both of Infiltrator, but I got finger guns. Steel Garden won't affect these. And Cubert Academy on the other side of that smoke. Actually, nightz teleported in or something. This is so staggered from Cubert. Messy rounds back to back from both teams so far. And Winthrop got caught in a bit of a fault line. Just NiSMO got blinded and he couldn't capitalize. Wall up. He just heard the reload, heard the boom bot. How he's skipping across. That was fun. Meanwhile, Winthrop got an advantage going at C and a plant too.
And a huge numbers advantage of 4 versus 2. They can play within the site. They already have 1 person watching the flank.
Okay, TenZ will check against Infiltrator, and
No, at least they have weapons to work with on the defense.
oh, okay, nightz stabilizes. Infiltrator was just testing him. This is mostly a save hero vandal from Nahsie, and that'll be behind. But Sacrificial Lamb of Ali goes forward. Yeah, he's got thorns in his way. He's got a thorn in his side, and Cubert are all over them like butter on toast, and the spike's right in front of him, and that's just dessert. So Cubert be able to try and close the gap in the score.
Yeah, very nice. Winthrop University, I mean, they are bringing weapons into this one, but it is a bonus round that you have here for Winthrop. And that's why I feel like Cubert Academy allowed themselves to be a little bit more complacent at the beginning here. Getting fully stunned, but still getting killed while stunned is quite nice there for nightz. And Reduxx there for the save. And
so we're Cubert. They're not too far behind. Some good flashes, good thorns. Reduxx with the setup, but needs to back up nightz, who's just a one-man army. We don't need a man. Now he gets back to safety. And Winthrop have to figure out what's next.
One day.
Oh God, moobs. Is he gonna do it? 1v3? Okay, good 2 for 1's not bad. And now you just opened up B. You're going behind rubble, so the options are limitless for Winthrop.
Starting off here on the side with nightz on a C mound, and then onto moobs for Winthrop University. Now you have a 2v2, but the advantage is on the side of Winthrop because of the health and because of the time.
I just love what Ali was able to do this map. It's how much clearance he got through B, inching around through rubble. Now work together. He trained.
And sorry, this is an eco round for Winthrop University. They shouldn't win this round, right? Oh, hold on. There's a showstopper first. Let's see what happens.
Oh, Thorns? Nope. Wow. Yeah, I guess, yeah. You know what? Yeah. Because showstoppers are just canceled like that. So 3 versus 3 on a couple players on Winthrop having classics. Wait a minute. Okay, neural theft from moobs. This is possible. Knights in the picture, but moobs is painting a different ending to this for Winthrop with the spike planted. And Knights at least with the paranoia, but okay. Moobs down for the count. Knights position revealed. I see an infiltrator watching both sides of their fortress.
I like this.
You just want
3
Knights to
pistols and
save
2.
here? Is
3
it possible?
pistols? I mean, no, he's going to go for it. He has to. He's been feeling it so far on the defensive side. And I think it was just Cubert giving him so much space. But speaking of space, they want to fight back here for rumble control again.
Oh, denial of the weapons, the owl drone, just to see the corpses left behind of Winthrop. Will lose the war for rubble once again. This Prowler won't get deep enough for Cubert. And now all rests on Knights with the Stinger, who's just not going to take the risk of getting his one. He'd rather be one with his team, and that means a plant for Winthrop.
Planted.
It's a silver lining, but we've seen scenarios here where Knights was able to clutch up a 1 versus 3 before, so player disadvantage could still be doable here for Winthrop University in this 3 versus 5.
Nightfall versus Hunter's Fury as Nahsie hopes to keep the forces of Cubert at bay. And now it's a brawl within the sights. And just Nahsie left. So many injuries, hemorrhages. A hospital that Cubert won't be able to access yet. And a peak. Unfortunate stops the defuse, but thankfully Knights close. Only because Cubert came back 3 to 11. Infiltrator.
Now they have a chance to work the map again. 1 Prowler. What a fate coming through.
Cover going out.
Forces out the Rolling Thunder, but C-Site's open.
Yeah, the Rolling Thunder gets you a guarantee on Nahsie, but Winthrop have evicted the rest of Cubert. They want to set themselves up for a match point, but I need this round to end before I really feel like there's going to be a winner. You just
I'm not going to say
never know.
anything. This is all you.
Challengers
Fumble. Okay, tdawgg 1 versus 2. Just another day at the office, right? It's a familiar scenario for him. This time we'll be able to tap the spike. He has to walk past the smoke and have to have his crosshair immediately up. You don't know if someone's at the left corner. Try and draw fire towards him as Flare can have the smokes back up. And tdawgg is going to fight for this tooth and nail. And he's revealed, come at me, bro. Can't deny the sort of changes that have been happening role-wise. I mean, even Reduxx, I thought, did a great job on the duelist last time, and it's first blood for Winthrop, and a save for Cubert.
No.
Not ideal to be playing Stingers at range against Nahsie and his Vandal, and what he's been able to be for this team, which is impactful. And he's not even done his tear. TenZ has to pick up the pace and laser him down. Have to put down the gun to put down Nahsie. It's another C hit. And the thorns from Cubert were not enough. Winthrop 4 versus 2. Semifinals ready. Knights on his way. What is he cooking? Oh, he can't go on the flank. That's denied by Infiltrator. Winthrop base is loaded. Base is covered. Looking for a home run. And it's TenZ and Knights. These together, but the crack in the smoke exploited